Get up to the microphone. Let's make this about you and your love for this man. You come from something of a wrestling dynasty. Was wrestling the big thing for you as a kid? Is that what you were a fan of? What else were you into when you were a kid?
Well, wrestling was a big part of it. I was actually always big into superheroes, and I was a big Batman fan. There wasn't that many Batman fans. But yeah, I was big into sports and always superheroes. I was always a big hockey and football fan, and my Dallas Cowboys were my favorite teams. True story, I named my second son, or my first son, my second child, I named him Dallas because I couldn't come up with a name, but I named him after the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, good. You should feel like you're in a second home. There's so many matches that I could ask you about, that I could talk to you about. I'm sure that a million people have asked you, oh, what's your favorite match? What was your most difficult match? I'm actually a little bit more interested in, is there a particular match that you look back on that you think of as the most rewarding in terms of the storytelling, in terms of what you were able to do on the mat, the person that you were working with, that you felt like you had a really good rhythm going? Any that really specifically stand out? Not necessarily favorite, but just on all points, really like that to you is the quintessential Bret Hart match.
Like as you're talking, the one that came to mind was maybe when I fought Undertaker at SummerSlam. It was always it's not sort of added to my grade. It's like people forget about it. It's not
like, all right, HBK, Stone Cold.
The one with Undertaker was, all I can say is what made it special was it was two guys that really had a lot of respect and we appreciated each other a lot as friends, and we wanted really hard to have. I think we had that match for each other, not necessarily for everybody else. It was just a great match. He was always a good guy to. To me, we always had a good chemistry, but we didn't get to wrestle very often. But when we did get to wrestle, it was very important. I can remember when Undertaker first found out he was wrestling me, and he got all excited, and he came up and he goes, "Now I can show everybody I can wrestle for real." And it's that match, the SummerSlam especially. We had such a, even this where I spit on Sean and the chair. The timing in that match is so precision, and we never missed a beat. And the truth is we didn't wrestle that many times, so it's not easy to have that kind of chemistry. It comes out of just pure, just respect for the love for each other.
Now flipping to the other side of the coin, and without necessarily naming any names, you don't always step into the ring and have that kind of vibe with somebody. Sometimes you have people who are on a different wavelength than you are, that aren't exactly as precise as you are. I mean, that's the thing, is you are such a technical craftsman as a wrestler. Like the precision to your work, to your crowd work, to all of it, like all the way down the line, is one of the things that, that's why you're the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. What would it be that would worry you getting into going, oh, I'm going to get into the ring with this guy, I don't know if this is going to work. What were the red flags for you?
I was a technical wrestler, so it was a little challenging sometimes. I have a fond memory of when I wrestled Andre the Giant in Italy, which I never wrestled Andre the Giant in a single match. We had just flown over to Italy. I'm trying to remember what year it was. I was still a tag team champion, mostly with Jim Neidhart, I think, in those days. But when I walked in the dressing room, there was a lineup of the sheet and who was wrestling. And I remember I walked in and it was Bret Hart versus Andre the Giant, and I was like, "Who booked this match?" And anyway, I was kind of a little worried about it because I'm a technical wrestler and I like to do holds and moves and stuff like that, and that's kind of what my shtick was. And I just remember Andre was playing crib with someone like Jim Duggan or something, and just kept playing crib, and as the match got closer, we were on like second or third that night, and I remember I started to get really worried about, what do I do with Andre the Giant? I don't know, who booked this match? And why am I wrestling Andre? And I was kind of walking around, and I kept going, Andre, why am I wrestling you? And he's going, I don't know. And anyway, so I was very worried about that match, and when you wrestle Andre the Giant, you never forget it anyway. I found out after the match, that actually was Andre the Giant that asked them to put him against me because he wanted to say he wrestled Bret Hart one time. And but I do remember he made me really nervous all the way through the match. And I remember he told me, he said, I beat you with the elbow. I dropped an elbow on you, and it was like, you think about that, and it's like, okay, it's an elbow. When and where and how are you going to do that? And anyway, I remember when Andre teetering on me, it was like a building coming down. It was like this huge, massive body. His butt was like a piano. And he was just sort of teetering, and he was going to come down and crush me. And I remember lying there going, this guy can kill me anytime he wants to. He just fall wrong. Just fall the wrong way. But he came down with a big giant elbow drop on me, and it was perfectly done. And I remember it was like 1, 2, 3. I remember always joking with him. I said, I had my shoulders so far up. When they counted me for the 3 count, I said, I always would joke with him, I wanted a rematch. But that was one. Sometimes if you wrestle somebody that you just don't know how to put the match together with what works best for them, especially somebody you have a lot of respect for. Sometimes you have the worst matches with your wrestlers or an opponent when you have too much respect for them because you don't want to, insult them and tell them like this is what we're going to do, or you let them, especially someone that's an older veteran guy, sometimes you got to pay respect to.
You don't want to step on the cape, as it were.
Yeah, like you try to, out of respect, you let them sort of be in charge of a lot of the match. And I learned over the years that probably better off letting myself be in charge of the matches.
Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about one of my favorite wrestlers who, like you, as a kid growing up in North Texas, I didn't know, from Canadians, I knew Mounties existed. I didn't have that much data to work from as to what Canadians are actually like. But you and the magnificent Owen Hart really gave me this great impression of what incredible athletes Canadians could be, and it made me wonder about this wonderful magical world of Canada. You probably have a million stories you can tell us about Owen, but is there a side of Owen that maybe we didn't see on this side of the screen or this side of the ropes going to see him at live shows that you think that people should know about the late great Owen Hart?
Well, I think everybody knows that Owen was, he was such a good-hearted guy. He would really take a lot of time to talk to wrestlers. And the wrestlers that had, people on the road all the time, and they get stressed out. And a lot of the girl wrestlers, like Luna Vachon, people that you forget about sometimes. Scary Sherry. Owen was one of those kind of guys that was always a pillar for them to lean on, somebody that they could talk to when they were homesick or they had problems. I think, you can name all kinds of wrestlers, but I think a lot of the women wrestlers in particular always reached out to Owen for a friend, to just keep them going sometimes. And that was what he was really special about Owen, but also he did have a unbelievable sense of humor in the sense that he could set up a joke that would take hours to unfold, but when it finally unfolded, it was a classic. It was so where you can always just look and go, how long did it take you to think of that joke? And know that I was going to walk up and do that. And it was always sort of this amazing planning that would go in where it's like, he used to take his voice, like if you left him a voice message on his voice machine, he would take that message and play it on other people's voice machine, like on the phone. He'd put the phone on it and play it. And he'd take that message and play it everywhere and pull jokes on whoever it was they called him. And then all these other people would call that guy. And just the hours and the time and energy that he put into his practical jokes is you know, you can't even explain it.
Were you into the practical jokes that would happen in the locker room, or was that, you know, outside of Owen, was that something that you didn't exactly tolerate, or were you, you know, there to have fun sometimes?
Well, Owen was one of those. He wasn't a mean prankster. He pulled jokes where you could always look and laugh, at the situation. But you know, there was. I can remember he got mad at the Nasty Boys, and I can remember he took Brian Knobs' bag and chained it to the top of the ceiling on the pipes. A big chain. I remember Brian Knobs kept coming in and go, I don't know where my bag is. I've been looking for it all the time. I go, fine. I said, it's up there. And it was like, I don't know how Brian Knobs did get it, but he climbed up there. We had to get someone and they had a saw with a metal saw to get it down. You know, just stuff like that. He never missed an opportunity to pull a joke.
I've got one more for you, and then we're going to turn it over to the audience. You talked about you know, Owen watching out in particular for a bunch of women wrestlers. Female wrestlers are getting like this new golden age here of late, where they're really getting the kind of time and attention that they never had in the WWE. I was on stage recently with Paige, and when somebody asked who her foundational influences were, who the performers were that she looks up to the most, you were the first name out of her mouth. You know, are there some of these newer up-and-coming performers that you've seen some of their work that you particularly admire, what they do, that what they do calls back to the kind of technical craftsmanship that is what everybody knows, you know, you and your family so well for?
Well, I have a lot of respect for the girl wrestlers, and always have. I grew up watching the girl wrestlers from Moolah and all of them. You know, I used to have wrestlers come up to me and say, hey, geez, you throw a really good punch. Can you teach me how to throw a punch? Or how do I learn how to throw a better punch? And I'd say, you know, go watch Scary Sherry. She throws the best punch, and any of them, better than most of the guys, way better than John Cena, way better than most of these guys. You know, you want to learn how to wrestle, watch Scary Sherry. She knows how to throw a perfect punch. Like, looks great and total pro. I think, you know, I don't know, there's a lot of girl wrestlers today, like Natalia's, you know, everybody in my family is really proud of what Natalia's done. You know, even Charlotte, I give Charlotte a lot of credit for being, you know, the wrestler she is today after, you know, losing her brother and all the problems that Rick probably didn't pave the way for Charlotte, like people think. Probably a lot of ways it's the other way around. But you know, it's a beautiful thing that some of these girls that I think have made pro wrestling last 10 years better than it was. And I wish we had some good-looking girls back in my day, like you know, Sable and Sunny and stuff like that. You know, they're a lot better to look at today compared to. I wish they had them just for eye candy in the backstage area instead of some of the girl wrestlers that we did have. You know, but you know, I have a lot of respect for the whole industry as far as girls go. They've, especially the last few years, I think they've really sort of found a whole different niche, you know, a whole different audience. And I hope it lasts. I hope it keeps going.
Let's give it over to the audience. You guys have risen here.
Thank you. So all my brothers and I were huge wrestling fans, especially big fan of a few, of course. So thank you for taking the time to be here. One of our favorite matches is you and Mr. Perfect, SummerSlam '91. Two of the greatest mat technicians of all time. But we've also heard Mr. Perfect being a notorious jokester, very much like Owen. I was wondering if maybe you can tell one of your favorite Mr. Perfect moments as well.
Well, you know, Kurt was he was a practical joker. But Kurt was a more serious ribber than my brother Owen. Like my brother Owen pulled jokes that were funny and kind of, everybody could laugh about it. But Kurt was one of those kind of pranksters that, what Kurt used to do sometimes was, he would take somebody's bag. You have to carry with your travel bag, like carry-on bag. Then you have to have all your gear, your boots, your tights, your wrestling belt if you got one, or whatever it is you need at least to do your job in the ring that night. They lose your bags sometimes. And if you lose your bags, they've been back for 3, 4, 5 days. You gotta have your wrestling gear. So it was a strict rule that you had to travel with your wrestling gear. So a lot of wrestlers had these little Halliburton suitcases that they would carry around, and I remember Kurt would take you go to these back of these arenas, these big stadium halls and stuff that we wrestle at, and he'd find these big locks that were about this big, huge industrial locks to lock the back doors and stuff. They'd be hanging on the hook, and he'd just take them off, and then he'd just click them on somebody's bag. I'd clicking them on, so I'd see someone like Jock Rougeau at the airport. He'd have like 3 of them on his bag, and he's getting mad because there's 3 of them on his bag, and he's getting tired of lugging around. You got to lug it around with all this through the airports and stuff. And that's kind of how that whole little fight that Bulldog Dynamite Kid had with Jock Rougeau was over the locks being put on his bag. And he had enough. He had figured it out that it was dynamite, but he figured out that it was wrong. Because he told Kurt he was calling to complain about Dynamite putting all these locks on my bag. And then Dynamite, of course, Kurt went back and told Dynamite, hey, Jock was going to call the office about your putting the locks on his bag. And Dynamite goes, I didn't put any locks on his bag. And Kurt's like, I know I did. Those are the kind of things that Kurt was a very, they used to call him Dennis the Menace sometimes in the dressing room for the practical jokes he pulled. But I will say, just in closing about Kurt, that he was the most fun to ever wrestle. I remember we wrestled sometimes for months together, and we had mostly 20-minute matches in a lot of places. So it was a lot of hard work every night. But I remember that King of the Ring match that we had, and one of my favorite parts of it. I think our matches are always very special to me, including SummerSlam. It was such a special match. But I always loved the interview with Mr. Perfect about my dad stuff or your dad interview. It was such a, we did one take on that interview, and when we did it, we both burst out laughing, and that was the interview. It was like, we didn't plan it, it just kind of came out like that, and I was like, around when I was done, it's like, that's a take, like that's it. Usually it takes a little bit to get warmed up, and we both walked out, and that's what I loved about Kurt, was that he was always fun to work with, and once you got in the ring, he was probably maybe I would say one of the safest wrestlers I ever worked with, maybe the safest. He was so careful and safe. He could bring a sledgehammer down on your head and not hurt you. He was really safe with everything he did, which is what it's all about.
Thank you.
Hi. So your dad, having the dungeon, taught you to be an amazing technical wrestler, which is why you're also known as the excellence of execution. Has the WWE reached out to you at all to offer any type of artistic or technical direction for any of the wrestlers out there today?
No, never.
That's such a shame. It really
They
is.
know about Triple H knows everything.
So he thinks.
That's pretty much Paul's brand.
Well, I'll be honest. I have offered in time to that would help. Be interested in helping. Behind the scenes and work with them. And in all fairness to WWE, it's like I remember they asked me. They said, so what kind of schedule can you give us? And I said, well, I could work Mondays maybe, and that's it. And then it's like, they want you to be, you gotta be hands-on. I'm not somebody that's gonna be wanting very bad to be on the road all the time with all the wrestlers. And so I don't know that it'll ever happen. I think guys like me, when they sort of cut ties with me and let me go home, or Steve Austin goes home, or Undertaker goes home, it's like, it's gonna take a lot for us to come back and help some guy work out a match, you know. It's just not, we've been gone too long to be down wasting our time doing that kind of stuff. But even though it's good and it'd be fun, I probably could contribute a lot. It's just not gonna happen.
That's really a shame. You're really, really still a household name. You really are.
Well, follow up on that note. Are there any wrestlers that have individually reached out to you over the years, in particular, you know, bring me your sage counsel, you know, please teach me something, HitMan, that you've had a good experience working with in that way?
Not really. I mean, I don't know that a lot of the younger guys say have my number, or my. I mean, I'll say I do this. Like if I see like somebody have a really good match, I'll reach out to them and send them a text, tell them that I thought his match was really good on the pay-per-view, and that it was 5 stars or 4 or whatever my honest opinion is. And you know, whether it's Charlotte or Daniel Bryan or Kevin Owens or something, you know, to get a pat on the back from me is always appreciated. And I every once in a while when I see a really, good performance or a really good match, I like to let them know that I appreciate it. And I think that's just whole second to that kind of stuff.
Getting a text from Bret the HitMan Hart saying you had a great match, that's a version of heaven right there.
Real quick, I also want to thank you for always being a stand-up guy, a man of integrity, and a man of honor and respect. Growing up, you're a role model of mine. I really appreciate that. And my question to you is a dream match of mine that I've always wanted to see is you versus Brock Lesnar. Can you illustrate in your mind on what that match would look like and what would your strategic approach would be to that match?
I mean, he could just walk out one punch, Brock would hit the mat. That'd be it.
You know, the truth is, I think Brock Lesnar is a great wrestler. I would love to have worked with him. I think we would have had the best match he ever had. I could have. But it's a question of what era you're talking about. Like Bret Hart versus Brock Lesnar, would I be the bad guy or would I be the good guy? I think I'd be the good guy because it would make more sense. But
What if it was the 97 version?
well, the 97 version of Bret Hart would be better off fighting John Cena. I really would love to have worked with John Cena just as an example of that. Like in 1997 when I was the villain and I was bashing America and all that. I just wish I'd had a John Cena to wrestle with at that time because it would have been perfect for me. I needed a good American hero and John was that. And, as far as our styles, I would have had a great chemistry with John Cena. We would have had some great matches. I would love to work with Kurt Angle just one time.
Yeah.
I would love to have been a heel wrestling Rey Mysterio. I would love to. I have nothing but respect. I think Rey Mysterio may be pound for pound the best there is, the best there was, the best there will be. Nobody ever wrestled like Rey Mysterio.
That's a hell of a title to go
on. He's just, when you talk about the greatest wrestlers of all time, and you think of Andre the Giant or Bret Hart or Ric Flair or whatever, you could put Rey Mysterio up there with any of them. And, not just him, but there's so many guys I would like to have worked with. Even going back to the old days, it's really a sad thing that I never got to work with Jake Roberts one time.
Yeah.
Not one single match anywhere ever. Because he was, love him or hate him, he was a great wrestler. I wish I could have worked with, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and some of these really skilled, polished wrestlers from today.
Eddie Guerrero, perhaps?
Well, Eddie Guerrero would have been fun. There's a lot of guys, but But as far as Brock Lesnar goes, as go back to your question, you know, he's a really, as my understanding from other wrestlers that have worked with him, is that he's a really good wrestler. He's really focused and really a real serious professional wrestler. And I have nothing but respect for him, and I would love to have just danced with him one time, because I think we could have danced, had a great dance.
Thank you so much. You have a good day, sir.
Thank you. Good question.
Hello, Bret. You're awesome. I just wanted to, first of all, really appreciate what you said about Rey Mysterio. Not a lot of people see him like that, and that's awesome.
When he came back, I mean, that was like the most thunderous welcome back I think I've seen in wrestling in a long time.
I was wearing my Rey Mysterio match when it happened. It was awesome. So my question is, obviously, your era and today's era are completely different. What is your honest opinion on wrestling today?
It's in a sorry state today. I mean, I don't know. I can't watch it anymore. I have to stop. I stopped watching it. Nobody sells anything. There's no psychology. And wrestlers are hurting each other. So it's like, what's right about it? I think the wrestlers today are better athletes, they're better conditioned, and
I mean, that conditioning goes out the window when you're injuring people, when you're just going too far.
I always bring up Seth Rollins, but when he injured so many guys in quick fashion, like John Cena's nose on the side of his head. You ever see that video?
Yeah.
That's just not allowed. You can't make those kind of mistakes in wrestling. That can kill you, that move. Jumping up and eating somebody, and then saying after that it was John Cena's fault. I don't know, but I mean, I know that when I watch it, if I've been in the ring in my era, if a guy like Seth Rollins jumped up and kneed somebody in the face like that, you would beat him when he came back to the dressing room with a baseball bat. You just can't go and treat somebody's body like that. You can't. You know, I saw, after all that, I saw Seth Rollins pick up somebody and run one of that Irish guy, Finn Balor, or whatever, throw him backwards against the wall there. Like, if you just think about it in the dressing room, you go, someone comes up to you and it's like, yeah, I'll pick you up and I'll do like Razor Ramon, I'm going to pick you up and then I'm just going to run and throw you against the wall backwards. Like, come on, think about it. That's pretty stupid. You can't even break your fall. You can't protect yourself. It's stupid, really stupid thinking that you can do stuff like that. I'm just going to jump up and knee you as hard as I can in the face. Trust me, you know. You know, it's like, no, I trust you not to touch my nose, you know. And you better know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, brace yourself. That's happened too much in wrestling today, where these, all anyone cares about is the high spots and the jumping and leaping and twirling. And I watch wrestling and I go, I always think the best pro wrestling has to at least pretend to be real, you know, to at least give you some sense of realism. And I find that today's wrestling is like, you know, everything from sledgehammers being brought up to the ring. Like, does anybody really believe that sledgehammer is gonna, like, that it's just too stupid for me sometimes. And I know wrestling's been pretty stupid forever, but you know, I look at matches like the one, like when I wrestled Mr. Perfect. I'd say the King of the Ring is a good example. We wrestled each other a million times, but we're going to go out, we're going to give a completely different match than we've ever done before, which we did. And I remember that night I was the King of the Ring, I was winning 3 matches, and I remember they told me, I said, do I win any matches with the sharpshooter? And they told me, no, you don't win any with the sharpshooter. And then I was like, well, why wouldn't I win one? I said, it's my big move, why would I not, like all night I just don't put the sharpshooter on. It's like, no, maybe you can try to put it on. Well, why would I try to put it on and not succeed? Suddenly it's like it's not working for me. So you think about it, it's like I have to come up with a reason why I can't put the sharpshooter on Mr. Perfect or Scott Hall or Van Damme. And it's like, So I work on a spot in the first match with Razor Ramon where he stomps my fingers, and I have to tell the commentator to make mention of that he maybe broke my fingers when he stomped him. And then when I go out for my second match, I got my hand all taped up on my fingers. And so when I go to put Kurt Hennig in the sharpshooter, he reaches up and, I don't know if you ever had your fingers broken, but I have. And he just took my fingers and bent them back, which, of course, my fingers weren't broken. But the idea is whenever someone bends your fingers back, that if you've hurt your finger, it's intense pain. And he got out of the sharpshooter with that. You know, I didn't have to use the move for the rest of the whole day, but it's like you just got to think stuff through. And I find that the wrestlers today don't think anything through. That's where they really need Bret Hart back there telling them what could make their match better sometimes. But I think it's just a little bit of realism and a little bit of common sense.
Yeah.
That's what I miss in wrestling today. You know, the way they leap and jump and twirl around like ballet, that's not the wrestling I love. I find it too choreographed and too hokey, and who believes that shit?
I mean, you know, a high spot can be really great, but when you're doing nothing but high spots, I mean, it's like, you know, where else do you go?
Well, that's where they are. I think it's like, where do you go from here with wrestling? I don't know. All I can figure that they'll end up doing is taking a step back eventually, and wrestlers will start selling again. And like when they actually sell, they get to tell a better story. So many wrestlers don't want to sell today. They think that it's more important to keep going 100 miles an hour and keep doing jumping and, you know, dive off the top, break a table. You know, I don't know. You learn way more about wrestling from the 90s than you can from wrestling today.
Thank you.
Thank you again for being here with us today. Considering your previous question, though, what would be Bret Hart's dream match today, considering the wrestlers, not just in WWE, but around the world?
Of guys that are out there right now.
Right now.
Well, I mean, I would just on a professional level, I would love to wrestle Kevin Owens. I really like his style. I like the way he wrestles. He's more like the 90s style wrestling I'm talking about. I really do think that John Cena is a great wrestler, and I would love to work with him. Just that, if I could come back right now and do one storyline with John Cena, just because it's so tempting, you know, just such a beautiful. It's fun being a bad guy. I would love to rough up John Cena for a couple minutes and then let him explode on me and make a big comeback and do all his best stuff. We could have had a great match together. You know, but you know, it's hard to say. You guys are the fans. You know, maybe I know a lot of people love the wrestling today. They love the characters and the wrestlers from today, and they don't really care so much about the wrestlers from the 90s or whatever. So maybe it's just a preference. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old and stale.
I think you'd be surprised. I mean, if Bret Hart just suddenly showed up on Raw, showed up on SmackDown, showed up on a pay-per-view, I mean, they would have to replace the roof on the place. It would blow the roof off of any arena you walked into.
You know, even Triple H, you know, I could have worked with him. We could have had a great match with him. But maybe I can finally go. Now he's had a good match. I'll give him 5 out of 10.
Thank you.
How you doing, Bret? Thank you so much for coming out again. I really appreciate it. My question to you is, who do you think, with the exception of you, obviously, is the best on the mic?
Oh, I don't think I was the best on the mic, to be honest. I think I had some good years. And 97 was a good year. But who I think is the best on the mic?
What does it take to be good on the mic? What to you makes somebody good on the mic?
Well, I mean, there's 2 different things. There's a good guy and a bad guy. A bad guy needs to be a jerk and come across as kind of like a, you know, like an asshole. And a good guy needs to come across as humble and determined and you know, there's a little bit of everything. But I mean, the best talkers. I mean, hard to say in some ways because everybody, like when you watch Raw or Raw today, it's all written out. I see John Cena walking around with he's got 10 pages of script. How can you memorize that? You did this stuff a few hours ago. But you know, it's amazing how these guys can memorize on top of their wrestling and all their million high spots that they're going to do. They can still memorize 5 pages of verbiage written by some guy that just wrote my verbiage and somebody else's verbiage and another guy's verbiage. Something. That's why all the wrestlers sound the same, is because there's the same guy writing it out. And I'm not a big believer in these writers in the back area of the best wrestling I knew never had writers. Because the writers don't know anything about wrestling. I don't think. I never met a writer in WWE or anywhere else that could quite capture what it was to be a wrestler. But the guys that are good talkers are, you know, like John Cena to me. Whenever I see him talk, he's always true to his character, and I think that's what you sort of got to do. You have to define your own character within yourself. Like I can remember, I've been recently told this, that I always talk about the hitman as in the third person. Like the hitman could never do that, and that kind of stuff. That's true. Like I think about what the hitman is supposed to represent. And I got a wrestling guy like, well, the hitman would never do that. You know, that kind of thing. Same with promos. You know, there's a thin line there when you do promos. I think you have to, you know, you have to be sincere. You have to get the point across of what it is you're trying to sell. Like the match, you're coming back against somebody in a certain type of match or in a certain town. You got to remember little details. But I always, you know, I think I was one of the first guys, or one of the few guys that, when I started, like, with WWF in the 80s, you know, with Hulk Hogan, and even Macho Man and Warrior, they were all very loud. They talked, you know, about their 24-inch pythons and all this stuff. You know, it was always very loud, booming, aggressive, you know, interviews. And I always thought that I was the first guy that came along that was more of a communicator, like talk. I'm going to wrestle this guy next week, and when you know, so it was different. Let me tell you something, Mountie, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I talked rather than shouted, and I think it served me well. I don't know if it would have served everybody well, but I was somebody that I think started to make fans like my tone better. That I was actually a thinking man's wrestler, and a technical wrestler. He's going to beat these guys with his skill and his brains rather than shouting about it. So I think it was just a changing of the guard kind of thing. But I think that's what led to a lot of the interviews, the way they, like, I think I was the first guy to start to shoot promos, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But, you know, I'd always look at situations and go on, like Yokozuna. You know, I remember it's like, you and Mr. Fuji, you threw salt and stuff in my eyes and took my title away last night. So what do you want me to say today when we're doing these promos? We'd have these things, these face-to-face promos that I used to do back in the 90s. They'd have two different backdrops, and they'd have the two cameras set up, and you're actually side by side in a room. And you're supposed to be face-to-face with two different cities, kind of thing. And so then they'd have you talk for a minute. But I remember first one I did, I called Yoga, I said, "You big fat tub of goo," and all this stuff. And I was so mad. I remember he came over and he goes, "I think you could ease up on the fat tub of goo." And it's like, well, what do you want me to say? You know, I'm really mad that you lost my title. Like, I got to be pretty mad. I can't just go like, "Hey, big guy," you know. It's like, I got to be really pissed. And so I tried with that kind of logic is how I always looked at every match situation is like it's a real fight. And this is how I would really react if this is what you did to me, if you know, like Mountie, being near it is you did, if you did a really dirty deed, I'm gonna be ticked. And I'm gonna make a real strong promo. That's the only thing I know how to do. Like, it's like, I don't do it very good, but that's how I would do it. If I try to dance around about it, say, talking in a lower tone, and, I just tried really hard to always look at every match like it was a real conflict, and how would pursue, how would I really fight a guy that was 500 pounds, had a manager that threw salt in my face and cost me my title, and, Ric Flair, or this guy or that guy, even Shawn, the whole truth about Shawn Michaels and everything that happened with him, and I was that. If he hadn't taken everything so serious, we would have drawn a lot of money together. And it was, everything I said was to draw money with his character. I never ever attacked Shawn Michaels, his actual character, the real person that went home and to his family and stuff. I attacked the wrestling character. And, Shawn got hurt feelings by stuff I said about his wrestling character. It's like, I'd come back, and I would go out, and say to Shawn, hey, I'm going to go out and is it okay if I say something about you posing for Playgirl magazine? He said, yeah, go ahead. But then when you go out there and you say it with such intensity and such conviction that he would get upset in the dressing room after. And it's like you start causing problems then for each other. But it's unfortunate because we could have done some great. The setting was all there, and the thing that people still think today, or think from that time period when all that stuff was happening to Shawn, including the screw job, is that we could just as easily have been just pretending all that stuff, and it could have been a lot of fun to work with each other. And I always thought that what I was aiming for when I wrestled Shawn Michaels in the Iron Man match, and then when I came back, was that we'll wrestle like another time, and then another time, and maybe another, we'll have 4 or 5, maybe 6 or 7 big classic matches over the next 10, 15 years that will top the Iron Man match. Even blow that one out of the water, and we'll have another one, maybe we'll have this one. And we could just keep going back and forth for years, and it's a shame that he got himself all worked up, and that all turned into such a mess after. It was all just an effort to sell tickets and draw money with each other.
Thank you so much.
They're telling me that we're out of time, but to give us one last little thing, as maybe a little follow-up to what you were just saying about Shawn, we've kind of tread over a few different options of dream matches that you'd like to do with people you didn't get a match with that you would like to, provided personality-wise things were to work out. And would you be interested in getting back in the ring with Shawn one more time?
Well, I would love to wrestle all of them again. Everybody. If I could come back and I was good enough to come back. The fact is, I could never come back. I got kicked in the head by Bill Goldberg, and that was the end of my career for real. It's such a shame. When I got hurt, I had 4 years left on a contract I left on the table $12 million the day Bill Goldberg kicked me in the head. I lost all my income. And, it's like some guy being sloppy or not professional, not knowing what he's doing.
All it takes is one bad move.
One bad move, and there goes my. It took me years to get in a position where I could make $3 million a year. And so it's like that concussion blow that Bill Goldberg gave me has never changed anything. If anything, it led to me having a stroke about 2 years later. And even now, I have issues with balance or movement as far as if I ride a bicycle, I would be careful that I don't tip off and run into a tree or something. It's all from your equilibrium being kicked one time by one guy that didn't know what he was doing. So, no, I couldn't come back, but I wish I could. When I heard that Shawn Michaels and Undertaker throwing me and Steve Austin on that card for just for all time's sake. Just for all time's sake. I would love to do that, and I'm sure Steve would too. But we're two guys. Both of us are probably guys that suffer from our injuries, and unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
to be selfish for just a moment, to indulge myself for a second, the kind of dream way of incorporating you guys who, I mean, are the reason that me and loads of others of us became wrestling fans in the 90s. You know, you mentioned Brock Lesnar. I love the idea of playing up Brock as a heel who's injuring people, and the old guys aren't having it. And so all of you guys get together to break the beast. I just love the idea of, you know, seeing you and Steve and everybody just team up on one of the young guys and just, you know, pummel them into submission.
Well, I'll fantasize about it tonight.
All right. So get on social media, tell WWE you want to see that match. You know, it's not blowing smoke. It's not just, you know, trying to be a generous host and show people a good time. You know, your work in WWE and in various promotions over the years means so much to so many of us, and the standard that Bret Hart set is something that maybe not everybody's living up to it, but it's still there, and it is still something that is important to the wrestling business, to the people who know what's what and know how people should be treated in the way that people should be working as performers. So thank you for being the unpopular guy with the unpopular opinion, you know, in the face of the guys in the front office.
I've always been, it's easier to tell the truth, it takes shorter time. And sometimes I worry about coming to these kind of things and talking, because I've apparently hurt a lot of feelings in the last couple of years. You know, I don't think Triple H would ever go over me saying he was a 4 out of 10 wrestler. 4 out of 10 is being generous.
That's it. Get back in the ring with him and disagree with 4 out of 10, huh? 4 out of 10, huh?
But I do have a lot of respect for a lot of the young wrestlers today, and I think I still like the 90s better.
Yeah. I think a lot of us do too. Now, one more thing. We're going back to the table. We're just going to be here for about a half hour today, and then you're out of here. So how many of you have not gone to see Bret over at his table yet? Okay. How many of you have gone to see Bret at his table? Okay. Everyone whose hand just got raised, everybody go back over there next door. Say hi to Bret one more time before he gets out of here for the day. Can we give this man the proper hero send-off? Yeah.